to you.
Hey boys, it's your boy Kenny Boulder with my fellow co-host OG San with another episode of a slice of Breadcast Sports Edition.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go and do this. We're going to talk about the Broncos.
Oh my
Talk about the
god.
Bronco ball. Talk about Bronco ball. Let's do it.
So instead of talking about anime like usual, we decided that maybe we should spice it up a little bit and talk about sports because what's going around the corner right now?
Well, as everyone knows, we are the Anime and Internet Podcast, premier podcast of culture across the internet. And you know what's on the internet? Bronco Ball. I'm taking this to plug my own series for a second. Bronco Ball.
Absolutely.
Come play with us as we lead the Broncos to victory and legacy, supreme legacy that will never be beaten. We just took down the Buccaneers in a tough game last week. We took down the GOAT. Next week, we're going to have a wonderful game against the Jets, I believe it is. They can't stop us.
Hell yeah.
Bronco.
That's what I'm talking about. OG San has been playing
That's
Madden.
why I'm here from Mile High right now. I'm here from the Mile High Stadium, suited up for that.
He's doing Bronco Ball, and I respect that because again, that he's basically being a badass. And I as a Broncos player, or Broncos fucking fan, I'm not a fucking member of the Broncos, but I'm happy that you are embracing the Broncos culture. And I will say right now, I am one of the biggest Broncos fans in this goddamn country.
This is true. It's a certified fact. He knows everything about the Broncos. That's why I'm going to hit him with the hard-hitting news and get some good questions on here for all of you fans of the Broncos and other sports teams out there. Because you know what? We're going to be talking about Locke. We're going to be talking about some potential QBs on the list. Minshew, Haskins. There's a whole range of them down the line.
Please don't do this to me. I don't want to talk about Haskins. Oh my god. Anyway, as always, you can find our content on the Origin side of my YouTube channel. And this is been a while since we've done one of these podcasts, but as you can tell, I've got a new haircut. I am no longer the blue-haired, long-haired boy. I am now a man.
He's grown up. He's gone to next level. It took a week off to get that to happen, but
I know. We made it happen. Now, no more ponytail, no more man bun shit. So,
the era's over.
The era's over indeed. Unfortunately, the new era's here to stay for a while, at the very least. All right, OG San. So, I'm gonna ask you right now. I'm gonna quiz you for once.
Hit me.
What is American football?
Football, I think, is what you believe is the correct term. There ain't no American football. It's just purely football.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's the only ball there is. All right. Football is when we get a bundle of strong linebackers, strong men out on the field, ready to throw a ball. We're going to hit them. We're going to put them going up against one another, crushing in like two big American waves coming in.
Yeah, American waves.
On the yardage line. And we're going to throw that ball. We're going to run that ball. The QB is the field general out there, taking direction from the head coach and the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator on the other side, trying to stop things from happening. But all it comes out to at the end of the day is when the hearts of America is out there and we're just making it happen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Get that ball 100 yards down the field, touchdown.
And what's the best thing about Americana football?
The best thing about it is the 3 hours it takes to get through like a short game because of all the commercial breaks. Actually, no,
yes, sir.
That's the worst thing about it. But you know what the best thing about it is? It's those clutch plays right when that pocket, that pocket with the QB is on the clutch. He's on the clutch. He's like, what am I going to do? Am I going to throw it? Am I going to throw it? Am I locked and loaded, like lock out there? Am I going to lock and load it, throw it? Or am I going to take it and do some run ball? I'm going to run that ball, get some long yards, or run that ball around them, juke out of the way. Or am I going to see Judy out there? I'm going to be like, I'm going to throw it to him because I know he can catch. I know he's going to receive. He's going to get it down. He's going to get it 100-yard return, easy.
How many games do you watch of football?
I have played more of the games I've watched at this point, but I've watched enough to know the spirit of football.
And what's your team?
You know what football is all
what's your team? What is a VTuber like you root for?
Yeah, we're all about the Broncos. We're all about the Broncos.
Hell yeah.
Because it's an underdog story these days. Ever since the Elway era is gone, the Manning era is gone at this point. Right now, we're on the era of defensive defensive coordinators taking over as head coach and playing some scuff ball, playing some meme ball. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's all about the heart on the field out there. Because like a Bronco itself, it bucks, it rides, but at the end of the day, is a powerhouse that you can always rely on, and it will never give up. That's what it's all about, never giving up.
You captured it. No, absolutely.
They're going to never let you down. The Broncos are never going to desert you, never going to turn around. All right, always down the field one way. Bronco ball.
Oh my God, Slate. We usually don't do it according to Slate.
I need to ask you, QB Lock, right? He's number 1 on the team right now. Is he for the future? What's happening with Lock? Because I don't know. He's thrown some. One of the way I judge QBs is how many interceptions they give away. Because interceptions are basically not okay. So, you know how there's 4 downs, downs, right?
Yes.
And people like always kick on or punt on the 4th. That's basically a 5th down. I call that a 5th down for the other team. All right. But if you throw an interception, that's basically a whole nother 4 downs for them. You're basically giving them extra. That's weak sauce. All right.
I'm gonna go over this real quick with you. Drew Lock has not impressed me since 2020. Okay.
Exactly.
So you have a guy who's 2nd round pick from the Broncos, 42nd overall, my favorite number, and so far he's thrown like. I think, let me just pull up here. He's thrown for, in 2020, he played about 9
almost
games.
4K yards.
9 games, he threw for 2,900 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. That's fucking bad. That's really let's go with that fucking again. Bad.
16 interceptions, right? 16.
No, 15 interceptions, sorry, 16 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions.
15. That's basically 15 free touchdowns for the other team if they run that ball right.
Yeah, it's bad. Those turnovers are fucking horrible. Like, I get it, he has some spirit. He's funny. He has dance moves, but I don't think he's the guy.
I got dance moves. Look at that.
I got dance moves.
We can all dance, all right?
And I just want to be very clear. I want the Gardner Minshew train so fucking bad.
Oh, so now we're on Minshew territory. I remember when I first tested Bronco ball, I brought him on the team.
I'm glad you did.
I think that might be some good juju out there.
And if it weren't for the fact that, last year the Broncos were really the offensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos is like the professor of dark arts, defense of the dark arts. It rotates every fucking year. Every fucking year we have a new professor who comes in, brings new schemes, and it doesn't fucking work. Because we're literally, this is the first time since 2013 when we had a returning offensive coordinator. That's bad.
You can't get a flow. You can't get a multi-season flow in the game. You're always going to be restarting. It's like an old car that you always have to restart or something like that. Like, it doesn't work out well. You got to be able to get going day one, because you're not even taking into factor off season and all the. You need an offensive coordinator who understands the players that are returning, right? The jive between them all, what's working, how they all work, their personalities and whatnot, where they are on the field, and you need to be able to carry that multiple seasons, because you're going to be. It's going to be developing that spice, that good stuff that we can really bring it out and really make a great winning team. But if you're always changing the chef in the kitchen, you're never going to be able to bring out that spice.
And that's the thing about the Denver Broncos is that we don't have the recipe. It's like you're cooking with one arm tied to your back. Like, sure, our defense is good, but if you have a good defense and no offense, what the fuck can you do?
Well, one thing I do respect, strong defense can hold the team in it, but unless the defense catches a turnover or something, an interception, they're not going to be able to score points. Yeah. So unless you have Lock on the other team throwing interception, you're not going to be able to score points.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the whole issue is that, he throws interceptions every other fucking pass, and I don't think he's the guy. I get it. He this is his sophomore year, He's going to enter his 3rd year in the NFL, and, like, either you step up or you fucking don't. He hasn't. You know what I mean? It's bad. It's that bad.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, and I like to stay locked and loaded, but even in Bronco ball, I've seen him slip up. Let's be honest. if there's no second QB that really can.
No.
If he falters and you take him out, can really hold the game. You really hold the game. It's
I
basically
mean,
throwing
yeah,
away.
we basically had nobody for a while, and the worst part is that I hate to say it, but when we have a situation where either no one wants to come to the Denver Broncos, or I mean, a lot of people had interest to join the Denver Broncos, but like the Denver Broncos were in talks to get Matthew Stafford. No, Matthew Stafford joined the fucking Rams. We had discussions of getting Carson Wentz, but Carson Wentz joined the Colts. We had discussions about getting Deshaun Watson, and then Deshaun Watson became like a fucking possible. Again, nothing confirmed yet, but the allegations of sexual harassment came in for him, and now he's in limbo. So now the only person left is Gardner Minshew.
Mission. That's right. So wait, let me throw this through because Ions may be catching up on this. Can you give him little two on what Gardner Minshew is like? What's his
Mustache
highlights?
Man.
Give us our highlight. Mustache Man.
Yeah,
of course.
Mustache Man. So Gardner Minshew, he was drafted the same year as Drew Lock in 2019, and he just fucking slayed, man. He was like really one of the best passers as a rookie, and he was like, maybe he's not as good as Drew Lock in terms of the deep ball, but he's accurate though. He's accurate as fuck.
That's more important.
Yeah.
You know what I say? His stats. Let me read off some of his stats as of
Read
2020.
some of his stats right now.
Right now, as of 2020, touchdowns 37, interceptions only 11. That's great. That's better than a 1/3. That's amazing right there. Out of how many passing yards you have to ask though? 4,710 approximately, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, was that almost 2,000 more yardage? 2,000 more yardage than Locke.
Yeah.
What can you say about that? I mean, that's a clear night and day difference.
And Gardner Minshew is more of a team player. Like, he has that charisma. He has leadership. And Drew Lock seems like he's just there to have fun. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a Lock fan. Literally, my iPhone has like a picture of Drew Lock. And I was into the hype. And we had a subpar season again. So it's hard for me to be excited.
What was the at the end of the last season? What was the actual win-loss on the Broncos?
We were like 5-9 or some shit.
I mean, that's not impressive. I mean, if you were to take that, that's
we were 5-11 and we were 4th in the AFC, so we were basically worse in the division.
If you take that, I mean that's grounds for essentially doing a whole coaching roster change, isn't it? I mean, let's bring that back up because right now, where's the red line for the coach? Where's the red line for a coach? When are they going to get rid of him? What are they going to make him do? Because they need something. They need someone to be able to get this together, right?
I don't fucking know, man. Like, I want to say for the longest time, everyone had Drew Lock's confidence, and then when you throw 15 interceptions to 16 touchdowns, that's when things fell apart. And like, I get it, we didn't have our best wide receiver, Cortland Sutton, to play last year. I get it. Like, we had a lot of missing pieces. It was a very like skeleton crew, but you need some guys who have that kind of spark, that magic, the clutch factor, and Drew Lock doesn't appears to have it. And there's one game where we were against the Chargers. He threw like 4 touchdowns in one fucking quarter. That was insane. But like then every game after that he threw for 1 interception. Every fucking game. He literally threw for 1 interception every goddamn game that he played.
Take bets on it because it's a guaranteed win if you bet against him.
I mean, 5-11.
We have to elevate this because I mean the QB is one half of the face of the team in some. Okay, he's the face of the team, but in terms of the strategy that comes down, he's on the field, but there's someone out there making the calls at the end of the day for what the roster, for how we're putting a team together, for how we're putting the strategy on the field. Coach Fangio, Vic
Fangio. He's entering his 3rd year.
We can't leave him out. We can't leave him out of this. He's part of it.
I actually like Vic Fangio.
I mean, you look at his head coaching record, not defensive coach, not defensive coordinator.
No, the head coach. The head coach of the Broncos is Vic Fangio, who is the defensive coach of the Bears, and he runs a great defense. And
That's
obviously, he runs a great defense, but he's a defensive coach, and every single league right now is playing air raid. Air raid's basically you throw the ball as fast as you can, as far as you can, and like I get it. The Broncos have a really good defense. We got a bunch of good cornerbacks this year, and we got one of my favorite defensive players so far, Kareem Jackson, for a bargain price of $5 million when he was asking for 10. And like for real, it's crazy how good our defense is. But the problem is that you can't have just a good defense with no fucking offense.
You have to be able to bring together both sides, and that's what a head coach does in part, right? You can't just be relying on the defense. I said it again, you can't just be relying on the defense. They don't score
Yeah,
unless you have opportunity to
Peyton Manning took the Broncos to the Super Bowl, and he was like
Twice.
injured as fuck.
Right?
He threw like his last season was like probably one of his worst seasons, but we still won the Super Bowl because he at least was able to get the ball to wide receivers, keep us out in the field, and let the defense rest, and then our defense clutched and took us to the Super Bowl. So,
and if that's how your style brings together some victories and gets you to the Super Bowl, albeit there are different ways to win. There are different ways to get to Super Bowl. We all know that. Every team has their own style.
Yeah,
but you have to be able to get a style that works.
For sure.
If you have a team that relies pretty much only on one player, like a Manning, then you don't have a team. I'm gonna say it, hot take. If you rely only on one player, you don't have a team.
Absolutely. And the quarterback is honestly still one of the most important positions. They gotta be the leader. They gotta be able to pass the ball. They gotta be able to, run with the ball and stuff like that. And the worst part is that Drew Lock he's athletic. He has all the skills available to be a great quarterback, but the problem is that the Broncos scheme is either too smart for him or he's just not used to it. And again, he's had multiple offensive coordinators for so long now, and I guess with people coming back for next year, like maybe this is the time when we actually have some consistency, And that's the thing, is you need to have consistency in any team.
So what's your prediction here? Let's be a bold prediction. You're gonna say if he doesn't perform last season, if he doesn't perform, it's his last season.
I mean, they said flat out like that they would bring in competition for him. I don't see
competition, or I'm saying completely done. Now I don't know what his contract is right now, but you could put him on as second QB, but you can even chop him down below that in some aspects. Basically, not even playing him unless you have to for some reason.
He's on his, he's still on his rookie contract, so he's still got a year and a half or then some to be on a rookie contract. But I don't think, unless he performs really good, I don't think we're gonna keep him. Because again, it's a dog eat dog world kind of situation though with NFL. Either you're good or you're not.
And he does have a lot of good players around him. I think we can list off a few. I mentioned Judy earlier.
Yeah.
But there are quite a few that, if you have a QB there who can do more than dance, let's just say.
The Denver Broncos is the most youngest team in the NFL.
I'm saying they have a lot of potential. That means they have a lot of potential.
They have a lot of potential, but they have a lot of inexperienced players. And last year we had most of our defense was out that year. It was insane. Literally 9 of the 16 starters were gone. So I want to say that our defense is really good because a lot of guys stepped up. But the problem though is that our offense again is just really young. I think our oldest wide receiver is 23 years old. And yeah, no, I want to say that Judge Judy and Judge Judy and Cortland Sutton, they're great wide receivers, and they're gonna be a great duo. But if Noah Fant, our tight end's injured, if our fucking secondary if our offensive line keeps dying, I don't know who our fucking right tackle is, but if it's Jawan James, he was supposed to play in 2019. He's not taking a single snap since 2019.
Well, you can rest on field goals.
That's right.
Can we just
Brandon McManus is best kicker in the fucking league, okay?
You could potentially win by field goals only.
Yeah, we could.
I just had a Bronco ball against the Pats, I think it was against the Patriots, and they won by purely field goals. I don't think they made one touch. I think they made one touchdown, but it was a field goal game. So in theory, you can do all field goals.
Field goals are points. Points count. Absolutely.
And what he McManus there? He's how many? I don't know what his percentage of made versus attempted is, but it's quite high, isn't it?
It is very high. And, obviously he's one of the few offensive stars we have left that is from the Super Bowl era.
He remembers the old days.
I know. It's been 5 years, and we're so bad now. It's so bad. Like, I want the Broncos to be good again, but they're just bad lately.
Look, I went through that with in the NHL realm. I've seen that with the Kings. They had quite a couple years where they had some strong, but then they took a dive.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate sometimes. I think the bubble deflates or something happens where maybe you ride a little bit too high, and then you don't have the momentum. You don't have the momentum, and maybe it's the coaching strategy. Because I know after the Super Bowl era, they brought on a couple coach, right? There's been a few since then, but none have really stuck around that long. And they've all been defensive coordinators or something like that.
Yeah.
Again,
our first coach since Gary Kubiak retired for the first time was a guy named Vance Joseph, who's actually the Arizona Cardinals' current defensive coordinator. And he had 2 chances to prove himself. And the first year was rough, but yeah, we had back-to-back losing seasons for the first time since like the 1980s. So,
which is rough. But again, I mean, we still have a current defensive coordinator in there, and it's the same old story.
Well,
old story.
One of the best coaches of all time is a defensive coordinator.
They can be the best of all time, but what's the raw percent? What's the statistics?
Literally has 8 rings on him. 8 Super Bowl rings.
Oh, Mr. GOAT defensive coordinator as head coach.
I mean, Vic Fangio is a great coach, but I just think the problem is that we don't have a decent defense at all. I think we were ranked last, like everything last year. Points scored, yards, like everything. We ranked last.
So let me turn it over to this then. And you can take this how you want. If you were put in right now, GM, head coach, whatever, the shot caller, if you were the shot caller, you had to walk up into Mile High Stadium, everyone's sitting around. What are you going to say? What are you going to say? What are you going to do?
We need to win. Easy.
There you go. Just got to win. Get good.
We got to win. Get good.
Gamers.
Win. Because that's what it is. You just need to win. Like, I get it. The AFC West is a stacked team. You have Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. You have Justin Herbert, who's like the real deal for the Chargers. And the Raiders, are the Raiders, but they beat us though. We're last in the division for multiple years now.
If you're losing against the Raiders, I just gotta say, then go home, take a couple weeks off.
Yeah.
Come back, get yourself together. Okay, Raiders, come on. What's going on? It's the Raiders.
We suck, man. Like I watch every Broncos game like a fanatic. The most hardcore of the fans are the ones who watch and stick around when the team just sucks. And that's been me. And I'll say it. Like, I was spoiled. I watched the Broncos win the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 50 in 2015, and I got spoiled because of it. But get this though. Get this, Cameron. Oh, sorry, OG-san. Get this, OG-san. Every year the Broncos have had a good season or they get to the Super Bowl, the Democrats were in the White House.
Interesting. Is this statistically proven? We have stats on this? Bring up the stats.
Think about it, okay? The Broncos won Super Bowl and 2 Super Bowls back to back in 1998 and 1997. Guess who was the president at the time?
Interesting. That's the Clinton.
Bill Clinton. Fast forward to Super Bowl 43 and Super Bowl 48 or 48 and 50. 2013, 2016. Who are the presidents during those times?
16 aside. 2013, that was President Barack Obama.
Yeah. Think about it. Biden's president now. Denver Broncos. We got good defense.
So there's a 66% chance statistically of winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it could happen. I'm telling you right now. Every time
If we
when
just take away all the other years that they were present, but let's just go hard on this. I think it's there. I think it's there.
I mean, the Broncos were in a playoff drought from 2007, 2008. And guess who was president of those years?
Those years, well, that would be the end of the Bush era.
Exactly. And think about this. The Broncos have been trashed from 2017 to 2020. Who's been president during that time?
I see what you're putting together here. I see what you're putting together. All right. I mean, they are from Colorado. They swing like that. Duck and weave, but they come out blue.
Exactly.
Come out blue. Clutch time, it's blue. And you know what color they have on their jersey?
What color?
I think you know what color they have on there. They got blue.
Exactly. The Broncos colors have been OJ for a while now, and I respect the OJ. OJ.
You have it here. Breaking news. Kenny Boulder predicts OJ will come back and play for the Broncos, and the Broncos will win the Super Bowl next year.
That's the best fucking response I've ever heard. All right, I'm gonna ask you a question now, OJ-san. Who the Broncos QB should be?
I think everyone knows the Broncos QB should be Dwayne Haskins. Not anything related to Bronco Ball. This is no Bronco Ball spoilers.
What the fuck?
Why? Because we were able to get him, and he beat the Chiefs in our Bronco Ball game. But that's not that spoiler. Spoiler alert.
I'm gonna say right now, Dwayne Haskins
and when we beat the Chiefs,
has fucked up so much. Okay, let me tell you right now. His personal story has been so bad. He literally was drafted the same year as Drew Lock. I think he was 15th overall or 16th overall. He was top 20. Okay, he's the third quarterback that was drafted, and it was the Washington football team, and he was basically captain for 2020, and he had a shit-tacular year. I think he threw for in 2020 he threw for 7 interceptions with 5 touchdowns, and he basically got kicked off from the football team at the end of the year. They literally let him go because he was at a party during the season and he exposed himself to COVID.
Well, if I'm going to bring that up, I'm going to say that didn't the Broncos and their head coach get fined for violating COVID as well?
Every fucking head coach got
the QBs.
I mean, yes, there was a meme game, and I'll explain very briefly. One of the moments, all 4 Broncos QBs were together, and one of them had tested positive for COVID. And so, literally, for a game against the Saints, the Denver Broncos had to ask a practice squad member, who's a wide receiver named Kendall Hilton, to basically play QB for the first time since 2014. He was a QB in college, but became a wide receiver for the NFL, and he literally had to play as a QB for the first time in years, and he was awful. He had 1 completed pass.
So you're saying that Haskins is better than someone the Broncos put in as QB. So therefore...
No! Get the fuck out of here. That's some shit logic right there. Dwayne Haskins is a hack.
2019 Rose Bowl MVP. 2018 Big Ten Football Championship Game MVP.
College stats are fucking award. Nothing. They're worthless.
Semi-battle trophy. You got a few more trophies on
literally,
there.
His football team literally gave him
Big
up.
Ten.
He joined the Pittsburgh Steelers because that's the only team that would accept him, and it would deal with the shenanigans.
It's going to take a maverick to bring the Broncos back.
Nah, dude. There's so many other better QBs than fucking Dwayne Haskins. Literally, a guy, the comeback player of the year, Alex Smith, who literally almost nearly lost his leg a year ago. 2 years ago, actually. He literally took the Washington football team to the playoffs. Keep that in mind.
Well, I say this. Stay tuned on Bronco Ball because we're going to be bringing some maverick gameplay, it sounds
Dwayne Haskins is trash. You're trash, OG-san. You're trash. God damn.
Yes.
All right.
Although
Why Dwayne Haskins?
it's fun.
Why'd you pick him over all the other QBs in the goddamn league?
Because he accepted a contract and we needed him because Locke and a few others. It was irredeemable at that point. We had to make the tough choice.
Oh yes.
I'm not going to spoil what comes up. But if you follow Bronco Ball, there were a couple games where it was just, if you lose this game, if you play bad in this game, I can't have you on the team. I can't have the team. I can't have that because we were going up against the Chiefs. We had to beat both. We beat the Buccaneers. We beat the GOAT. But we also had to beat the Chiefs because they're also Super Bowl. They are Super Bowl
Chat,
team.
please check out OG-san's Broncos series. So, he's legit decent in the game, and it's taught him so much wisdom about the game.
It's all wisdom ball. You're going to learn a lot there, and you're going to learn why Haskins is going to be the #1 MVP for the Broncos for the next couple of years.
Kill me, bro. You're killing me.
They should bring him on. If they're not able to get Minshew, bring him on.
I will say this. Asking can fuck off. It's funny because the Steelers always picks up like broken first round picks. Like one of their first round picks that they picked up from ours was QB named Paxton Lynch, who apparently was a very not lazy. He wasn't committed. He wasn't committed according to a lot of the rumors about football, which is kind of sad because he was drafted like, I think 27th overall or some shit. So yeah.
Well, I say the round that you're drafted does not necessarily mean you'll be a legend. Sometimes the biggest legends of them all are drafted after 6 other QBs.
Oh my God, who are we referencing?
Sometimes the greatest legends, the GOATs of
Who's the GOAT? Who's the GOAT, OG-san? Tell me. I want to know.
GOATs of all time, they are drafted when no one else thinks of them. But then that one decider says, I see in him the future. And the future is rings. Rings upon rings upon rings.
Deflategate.
And he doesn't need to be on one team because he could win on multiple teams.
Spygate.
Even if you think that they're making these impeccable plays, no, here, do it in any form. Here, come back. Here, play with your ball. Give him any feel, he will win because it's the GOAT. And sometimes you find the GOAT. You find the GOAT at the bottom of the pack. No one who stands out on the stats board doesn't stand out physically, but has the heart of football. And that's what we were talking about at the beginning, and that's where we are now, and that's where we will be in the future. Broncos.
I think we should do more sports balls because the NFL draft is around the corner. We should definitely do a draft special just because I definitely want to spice up the slice of breadcast in a way, OG-san.
Season 2, more football.
I mean, yeah,
on the premier anime and internet culture broadcast. Yeah,
exactly. Weeb shit and football go hand in hand. There's so many stories. It literally is one giant tournament arc, so it's perfect.
That's true. That's true in it. Alrighty. Well, I think that speaks for itself there. Yeah. Stay tuned in the future. Watch some Bronco Ball. And if you want great Pokemon pack card openings, stay tuned for Kenny Boulder on his almost everyday card openings of some rare packs. And you'll never know what's in there, but it's going to be all diamonds because he's got the diamond hands to open the packs. And stay toasty, my friends.
Stay toasty, my friends. You have a great night. Appreciate it again, OG-san. And again, I'm Kenny Boulder, my co-host, OG-san. And please, stay tuned and stay toasty.
Bronco Ball out.